Welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Yom Haazmaut. Can we make up a new holiday in our times? For those who appreciate and see the great bracha in Medinat Yisrael, a very big question comes up. How do we make up a new holiday? For the Satmar Rebbe, Zechet Tzaddik Livracha, there's no bracha here. There's nothing to talk about. For those who are power about the whole state, certainly no question as well. For those of us who believe there is a great bracha here, and as we learned, there's a fulfillment of Yishuv Aretz, the mitzvah of living in Israel on a new level by having Jewish sovereignty, and it's also a means, of course, for all paths to be open to the Jewish people. So it's very nice, feel good, have a kartas with Hashem, say thank you Hashem every day. No Hashem, say the bracha and benching with more kavanah than ever. Set up a new day. Do we have a right to do that? And the answer is yes. Simple as that. We do. And there's precedent. Of course, as we always learn, making such a move can't be based on our feelings. And it can't be based on the fact that, we feel so good. Thank you, Hashem. And therefore, of course, we have to set up a day. We need sources. There's sources. Of course, there's sources. The Gemara in Megillah and here I can talk about the fact that the days that were set up to say Hallel, what's the criteria of saying Hallel? It says it has to be in Eretz Yisrael, and it has to be that we're not subject to Achashverosh anymore, to other leadership anymore, different criteria for when to say Hallel. And that's the details regarding Hallel, which I'm not referring to right now. But the postscript we talk about a Kal Vachomer, thanking Hashem, that if we went from servitude in Egypt to Paro and we were freed, but we were alive either way, we just went to a better lifestyle. If we went from Mavis to Chaim, from death to life, and we were saved, certainly we have to thank Hashem for that. Tam Sofer actually says it's a mitzvah from the Torah of Hakarat HaTov to Hashem, to go ahead and thank Hashem in one way or another. The details that may be rabbinic, when our rabbi set up Megillah and Hanukkah, those are details. But midoraita from the Torah, you have to have hakarat hatov, appreciation to Hashem in one way or another. Maram Shakar says, therefore, there is a mitzvah that is binding, that a community, an individual or a community that's saved miraculously by Hashem, there's a mitzvah to set up that day of salvation for all generations in that community as a day of Mishteh v'Simcha. It's a day of Simcha. And Demar Malshakar is not some sheet that we hardly hear about. There are many communities that over the centuries set up their own days of Simcha. There's a Purim Frankfurt where they had their miracle. Some Sofa says, even when I moved out of the town, I still kept the Purim Frankfurt to remember the miracles that happened to us there. Chai Adam talks about a day that was set up as well. You have Purim Tveria. You have this precedent. The Magen Avraham brings it down in the Shulchan Aruch. Tafresh Pevav. The Mishnah Brura brings it down as well. So the idea of having a day set aside for Simcha and Mishnah, to be Sameach and to have a Mishnah and a party, a Seudah, and that has the status of a Seudat Mitzvah, that's clear in the poskim. That's clear. What exactly one does on that day, not saying Tachanon, Ezer Hallel, having a Seudah, there's room for each community to set that up. And for sure, to say Hallel and Hallel with the bracha is a serious halachic shadow that, of course, needs major poskim to be behind. And that's not the discussion for now. The discussion now is setting up a day to remember year after year a great miracle that happened that is well sourced. Then you have to get into the details of the day. And then you have to get into, well, what happened on Hey, we had enemies attacked us and haven't stopped since. So is that the day? On the other hand, hey, it's the day we announced the sovereignty, we pronounced the state. So there's details there to work out. But the concept of setting a day aside to have a Suda and a Mishta to celebrate God's blessings, that's well sourced and documented. From the Gemara to Rishonim down to the Achronim, the Mishnah Brura of our times. Zayom Asa Hashem Nagila v'nismach avo. May we continue to share brachot together. May we merit to see the Gula Shlema. May Rav Yameinu. Shalom.